It was a long way to get to Dubai, but it was my first business class flight.
I can see the smile on your face, mate.
And every time I did that, I was like, flying economy. I'm not ever flying economy again.
Yeah.
During that time, I've transitioned from being an employee to an employer. And obviously the business has grown dramatically too. And that's what allows me now to get lots of points and fly at the pointy end of the plane.
So most people probably think that we talk about business class, but we actually talk about always business. Because as a founder, as a business owner, you're always continuously thinking about your business, how to improve it, what new ideas are coming, what problems to solve.
In the south of France, I was on a big boat, and it was a very small boat in comparison to all the boats around me, right?
Yes.
So travel exposed you to things that we don't get exposed to here in Australia.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Steve Pirie. This is Steve Pirie-Nally, my co-host. We are always business class. I'm here with an awesome guest, Jack Henderson.
Thank you for having me. Two Steves, huh?
Two Steve squared.
So 1 + 1 equals 10. Isn't that what you're all about?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
So I met Jack on a ship, on a boat, actually. I remember I was on a boat, and then we tied up, and there was Jack, and our common mate, Chris Gray, introduced
You
us.
would have seen me in fine form that night.
You were in fine form, and you've been in fine form, but actually, just like Steve, you don't drink anymore.
I drink, not much though, not much. Like 11 of the 12 months of the year I don't drink, but
Tip it in for one.
I make up for it in the month that I do
Oh,
drink though.
You have one celebration.
It's coming up. What are we in now? It's October. I mean, it's only 6 weeks away. I'm very excited.
Oh yeah, December, awesome. It's hard to not drink, and I guess that actually leads to it on the plane, right? Actually, now we talk about drinking on the plane. How can you not drink?
I don't drink on the plane.
Oh,
Don't
I
you?
want to know
No,
about
I
that.
don't like champagne, so they bring out all this fancy champagne. I'm like, yeah, not for me. So
The new fiance does, though, on that. Congratulations.
She gets around it. But yeah, for me, I'm more of a water man, and I also enjoy a really good sleep. So generally, when I drink, I don't sleep all that well.
Has that always been Jack Henderson, though?
No, and I mean, it's not Jack Henderson for the most part either. You know, I'm pretty serious about my health, and I love business, and I know when I drink, I'm not the best in both, you know, sort of health and business. So it's something that I limit so I can perform as much as I possibly can. And then in December, I let the hair down.
Enjoy.
That's right.
Yeah. Because champagne is one like the bigger draw cards when you're flying first in business class. They always talk about what champagne they've got. They give it to you on board. They sort of give it to you, but if you take it, they go like, "What's wrong with this guy?"
Yeah. See, I'm not drawn to business class for the champagne. I couldn't care less what champagne, nor do I know what is good and what is bad champagne. It all tastes like shit to me.
Yeah, big foodie, though. You enjoy the food up there.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy the food up there more than being an economy, that's for sure.
Yeah,
like
totally.
sausage rolls and pies. I flew Jetstar to Uluru on the weekend, which is where I proposed, and yeah, we got a $12 credit to eat food.
Yeah.
I was asking Steve that. I was like, so he popped the question over at Uluru. Did he go business class? He can. Oh, but he flew the old JQ.
Well, there's only two flights. One is Qantas and one is Jetstar, and the Qantas business class, like domestically, is no different to flying economy anyway. So, yeah. The business class food's much better than Jetstar economy, I can assure you.
I love your high-low, so you can happily fly Jetstar or first class, whichever.
Yeah, I mean,
Thumbs up.
internationally, you won't see me in economy. But, you know, if I'm flying from Sydney to Melbourne or Sydney to Brisbane or Sydney anywhere really in Australia, I'm more than happy to sit in economy. Keeps me grounded.
So asset rich. I love the hat. Love it. We're all about hats on this table right now. The Flights Club.
The points.
Yeah.
Asset. It's got colour match here. The old blue and red.
I need to get one that says points rich.
Oh yeah,
We can
sort
organise
you out.
that for you.
We can
Totally.
sort you out.
Tell us about the journey of Jack Henderson and getting to the point you are. Like, man, it just seems like you've been doing this for a while, but you've exploded of time. I was literally sitting down for dinner with my brother-in-law, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, like Jack Henderson has lit me up in regards to what is possible and unlocking this opportunity for probably a lot of people. I feel like that are in their 20s and 30s are going, maybe property's not for me." And experience over things and that sort of thing, but you're kind of like painting this picture and doing it in regards to just unlocking all these opportunities. So yeah.
I mean, Steve, when you met me, I wasn't in property. I was still in mining. So
Oh, really?
that was New
Okay.
Year's Eve you're talking about, yeah, when we rafted up the two boats
Yep,
together. Yeah. So I wasn't even in property then. I was still in construction and mining. So I was still an employee then. That would have been like 18 maybe 2017, 2018
yes.
I would say. So yeah, I was still a full-time employee. Construction and mining is my background. 32nd story, left school at 15, or got asked to leave school at 15.
Oh, mate, we've got some similarities.
Yeah,
Great.
well there you go. You know, generally they find that, right? The founders and the visionaries behind companies are generally people who didn't do all that well at school or left school early. Obviously saved all my pennies, and the pennies looked after the pounds between 15 and 18, and then bought my first property, influenced by Chris Gray. You know, I found him on YouTube. He was this handsome bald man back then.
Still bald.
He's still bald, but he's not that handsome anymore. And yeah, you know, he was the guy that sort of unlocked my thinking and sort of philosophy around property. I actually used him back in the day as a buyer's agent, and you know, from there it's just sort of grown to, I'm 29 now, so I've been investing for just over 10 years. And during that time, I've transitioned from being an employee to an employer. And obviously the business has grown dramatically too. And that's what allows me now to get lots of points and fly at the pointy end of the plane.
I love how we're talking mining. Like, I actually didn't know too much about the backstory, right? But how do you kind of pull through? Because yeah, you literally are mining for opportunities, whether it was past life and now you're, whether it's mining for points, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
You're mining for these unlocking of property opportunities. And obviously I've read a few of them, and it's like, they are kind of left of center. You could maybe talk about settlers but yeah, you are mining, right?
Yeah, I mean, I started in civil construction, where it was, you know, just playing in the dirt and essentially doing all the works that happen to a building site before the building goes up, so all the earthworks and the stormwater and all that jazz. And then I moved into mining when I was 21. And it wasn't all mining, it was construction and mining, but I worked for a big company that did a lot of work in the mines in the Hunter Valley region. And I can assure you, if I had the choice to be a miner, you know, wearing fluoros every single day, or doing what I do now, I'd choose this every day of the week. But it got me started, and obviously you earn really good income when you win construction and mining, because you don't get paid based on your age or how much experience you have. You get paid on your ability. So I was, you know, a 16, 17-year-old kid in construction earning the same as what someone 45 earns. So I earned really good income. And now, yeah, like you said,
yeah.
I'm mined for property opportunities.
And
a
that's
little bit
also,
cleaner now.
It's also the same for business. Age doesn't matter. You get paid on ability.
Yeah, I mean, you look at all these guys now running these huge companies at 20 years old, 25 years old, multi-billion-dollar organizations. Yeah. It's out of control. So that's the best thing about business, is that as long as you're good, people will pay you. Right?
Doesn't discriminate.
Exactly right.
Good service equals
how has your mindset potentially shifted from employee to business owner to global traveler? Yeah,
I mean, the more exposure you get to things, the more you change as an individual, right? When I was an employee, I didn't know what I didn't know. So I always feel like I've had a good mindset, and that's because I've got incredible parents who have brought me up to, be accountable and be responsible for my life. But as you grow as a person and you get exposed, like I said, to more people and more experiences, your mindset obviously shapes. And I think it's good. For someone like me, I share a lot online. People, if you just find me today, for example, you don't know who I was 10 years ago or 15 years ago. So you're just like, oh, who's this guy? He's fucking, it's easy for a rich person to say this. Mm-hmm. But the reality is, like, I still remember my life very clearly when I was getting up at 4:30 every morning and being on site at 6 and working 12 hours a day. And I had a very good life. Don't get me wrong. I love my life then just as much as I love my life now. But like, me as an individual, I understand my journey much more than someone looking from the outside in. Like I said, the mindset is I will do anything I have to do to continue to grow my business and grow my life, because I would never want to go back to, doing what I was doing. Not that it's bad, but
yeah,
but
I don't want to go back there.
Is that what, because you keep sort of thinking back about it once in a while, that's what drives you, that you've been there and Yeah, and then also like how quickly things can change when you're super focused and committed. Like 10 years is not all that much time, right? Like I fully remember turning 18 years old, going out for the first times in the clubs and turning 21 and all that jazz, and it doesn't feel that long ago. And like my life back then, when I was living at home and doing what 18-year-olds do, to my life now, it feels like a lifetime ago at the same token. So well, that's what they say, time flies, and that's exactly,
it's out of control. It's mid-October now, and it's like still fully remember New Year's Eve last year, like it was yesterday, you know. And it's like the year's gone.
And how is travel? Like, Jeepers, you're prolific. Like, let's face it, you're one of our top members and love.
I'd travel more if I could. Trust me.
How has that kind of shaped this new chapter? Like, it's you as a personal brand as well, like which I love, and you're unapologetically, this is who I am, take it or leave it, and it inspires people. Has travel been part of that, and your sort of persona online, destination? I don't know.
I mean, travel is I didn't travel at all when I was like young. You know, a lot of my friends did the Kentucky tours and like had this desire to go and see the world. I never had that desire. And to be honest, even now, like I wouldn't classify myself as a traveler. Like I'm not like, oh, what's the next part of the world that I can go and enjoy? I just really love holidays. So if I go away for a week or 2 or 3, whatever it is, I just love that. But you know, like travel exposed you to things that we don't get exposed to here in Australia. So, you know, I was in the south of France a few months ago in July, and like I was on a big boat, and it was a very small boat in comparison to all the boats around me, right? So, like having exposure to what is actually possible, both how lucky we are, like you can go to the poorest parts of the world too and see how fortunate we are, and on the flip side, how small we really are in comparison to the global wealth that's out there, and that inspires me. But I still haven't really done all that much, right? There's still so much more to do. And the cool thing now is, you know, booking that stuff in advance, going, wow, like where can we go next year? Let's go and explore this and explore that, and having those trips booked into the calendar. Like we're going to the Maldives at the end of the year, to the Ritz-Carlton in the Maldives, and like I booked that whole thing with points. It's $120,000 to stay there for the week, and it cost me $3,000, I think, in taxes.
That's the magic of points,
and 1.5 million Amex points.
Can you just play that again? What, 120 grand for the week?
70,000 USD to stay there for the week, 7 nights. I think it's 10,000 USD per night.
In a way, the beauty of points is what you talked about, is that it gets this enormous upside of value. So a lot of people earn points like by accident, by random, and probably before we started working together, you probably earn your points just ad hoc.
Well, I didn't even know pay.com exists, right? Yes. So you taught me that. But all the stuff I did know about points, I did learn from you. And then also like because when I was younger, funny story, my first business class trip was to Dubai when I was about maybe 20, 21, and I wanted to go see, because remember when Dubai was first sort of like coming to the world stage, and it was always on Facebook and stuff, like the Burj Khalifa and the Burj Al Arab, and I was like, fuck, I want to go see this place. Like Dubai now is very common, but 10 years ago, or 8 years ago, it wasn't all that common. So I was an employee then, so I didn't earn points. But I learned about it through like interviews and stuff that you did with Chris. That's how I learned about points. So then I found out how to actually go and buy points and buy the points cheaper than what it would cost you to buy the flight through all those guys online that you can learn from. So I ended up buying Cathay Pacific points. American Airlines points. That's what it was. And you can get the bonus points. So I bought them. And then I think called up American Airlines, and you can book their partner airlines, which is like Cathay and stuff like that. So then I booked Cathay, like Sydney to Hong Kong, Hong Kong to Dubai. It was a long way to get to Dubai, but it was my first business class flight.
I can see the smile on your face, mate.
And every time I did that, I was like, fuck flying economy. I'm not ever flying economy again.
What was that experience in Dubai? So me and Steve, I suppose, when we kind of came together, and a crazy moment going up in an elevator, and here we are, and we kind of, you know how things as business partners, if you've got business partners, but things kind of agile move and that sort of thing. But Steve's very much about the journey. I'm very much about the destination. I'm like, even that's always business class is like the destination. How are we getting there? Like this, and Steve's like the journey. It's about the experience and the journey. So what is that as a destination for you back there in Dubai? And has it changed for you? Have you obviously gone back?
Back then I thought it was way more impressive than I do now.
Right, yeah.
I went there... we stopped by actually on the way to Europe this year again, and we just stayed there for the day. It's way less impressive when you've been to other parts of the world. It's cool to see. We've stayed in all the big hotels now and had the experience there, but I find it a pretty soulless place, to be honest.
Because once you've been a few times, I guess it's like anything. Once you've flown business class a few times, once you've flown first a few times, you get the hang of it. So therefore the magic is not as great, but still quite...
It's cool. I'd never driven a supercar before. The first time that I went there, we hired like a Lambo one day and an Audi R8 one day, and I felt like a superstar, and then come back to Australia, drive my Holden Ute.
Love it.
But yeah, I mean, it's less impressive now. I love you know, in Europe, like places like Paris, like the incredible buildings and the architecture and the history and stuff like that. It's like,
Yeah,
it's like
I
nothing
want to
else.
come back to the price arbitrage that you were talking about, because that's something most people don't think about.
Yeah.
But they naturally do. So price arbitrage is the same as you buy property and then waiting until it goes up and then you sell it, or same as buying shares at 5 cents instead of at 10 cents. So the way I think about points is the same thing. So the fact that you found these points that you could buy, but now you don't have to buy them anymore because we can generate them for you.
Yeah.
The magic is, how much are we generating your points for, and then how much are you using them for? And we talked about an example earlier where the upside is just massive.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a misconception around points too. You know, like I speak, most of our clients are business owners, so we'll talk to people and something will come up and somehow we're talking about points or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I don't really do Amex. I mean, like you got to pay the extra 2% or whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, but dude, if you pay 2%,
Get 4% back.
yeah, it's
you're
like
winning.
it's an investment." I'm like, everyone travels, everyone's gonna eventually have to pay for your flights or whatever. So let's assume that I just got dollar for dollar for points. I'm still just prepaying holidays. You
Yeah.
know, like instead of having
piggy bank.
you know, like holidays now are multi six figures a lot of the time. So instead of paying it all now or at one time, it's like you pay it over a period of time.
But these holidays are all research and development, right? As in,
of course, I mean, unfortunately,
It's a wedding fan you use.
yeah,
Check out this
you
place.
can't claim a lunch at Shalona or Lagorita, unfortunately.
Yeah.
My accountant won't allow that.
what was I going to say? Yeah, the destination. So again, we'll kind of play these two highways. Destination for you're unapologetically like you want to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I think in Australia we don't celebrate success enough. And I love how you celebrate your client's success and your success. So what is that destination for you, personally and professionally?
Yeah, well, the reason I say I want to be a billionaire is not because of the money. Like, I mean, fuck, the money's amazing, right? Don't get me wrong. But it's like to have that level of success doesn't just come by chance. You know, like I know billionaires now. I'm in a group called YPO, and there's a lot of billionaires in that. And like, they're not there because they've just lucked out, right? It's just like they started a business and it just grew by chance and now they're billionaires. Like, it happens because they're extremely skillful and you know, one of the best at what they do. And that's what excites me about that, you know, about that goal. It's like, yeah, the money's amazing, but does your life will change all that much if you're worth 50 mil, 100 mil? You know, yeah, maybe a little bit, but not dramatically.
Yes.
But the fact that you can get to that level is the exciting thing, right? And it's not just like this linear path. There's extreme highs, extreme lows, and you know, when you persist through those things, it can happen.
It's a learning journey, and that's why our podcast is called Always Business Class. So most people probably think that we're talking about business class, but we actually talk about always business, because as a founder, as a business owner, you're always continuously thinking about your business, how to improve it, what new ideas are coming, what problems to solve. So when you're talking about getting to billionaires, they are continuously thinking about their business.
On and off the field. And I think that, yeah, we know how many deals are done on golf courses. We know how many deals are done outside the office. And I think business class or first class, like I'd love to, what are some of those experiences that you've had that potentially have led to a business growth, business opportunity? I literally just had one coming up today from Melbourne, sat next to a Kiwi guy that moved over here, and he's been mining Bitcoin since he was 15. He's 25 now, like a young rooster, and he still hasn't sold. So it's just really interesting on who you talk to up front. They just think a little bit differently, and they're journaling just the way, versus economy. I mean,
there's that element of it, as like who you're sitting next to and all the rest of it. And then there's also the element of like, if you're flying, you're generally flying to be somewhere, right? You're not just flying for the sake of it. I know you love flying that much. You just jump on a plane and come back to Australia, but I fly to go places.
Yeah, well, otherwise you could, that's exactly true, because if you can do it by Zoom, you would now, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean, sometimes, But like, you know, the last European holiday that we went on, when you're running a business, you generally have friends that also run businesses. That's a big thing that's changed from being an employee. It's like when you're an employee, generally most of your friends are also employees, right? Because you've got similar schedules, you've got similar incomes, you do similar things. When you become a business owner, generally then your friends become other business owners, because you can do things like this, and you can go on holidays at certain times of the year and all the rest of it. You know, and I was on holidays with a couple of people that I did know and a couple of people that I didn't know that come with an invite from someone that I was there with. And like, that's the cool things, is like you just get to, you know, meet so many different people, and then you're at restaurants and you're at clubs and you know, you're on the piss and yahooing and having fun and meeting people that you would never meet. Like, that's the really cool thing about travel. And I've definitely sat next to some people on planes and, you know, had conversations or had people recognize me and all the rest of it. But to be honest, I don't talk as much on planes as I probably should. I just
that's your zone out.
Yeah, I love, like, all of my, not all, but the vast majority of the notes in my phone is when I'm on a plane and I'm just caffeinated as fuck. Like, I caffeinate right up on a plane.
Yeah, so you don't drink, but you substitute for caffeine.
And then I just sit there and I'll think. There's like really, I mean, there's a lot of the new airlines now have Starlink, right? So it's pretty hard not to be connected to the internet. But like, who did I fly? Pretty sure Emirates don't have that good of internet. I flew home from somewhere recently. Might have been Europe, might have been the US. No, it was American Airlines actually. I flew home from LA. I was over there for a business thing, and the Wi-Fi was terrible. And I was like, oh, well, all I did was drink coffee and just like journal, like essentially in my notes of all these ideas that come. Because it's like one time where you've got like 12, 16, 20 hours where you've got no one annoying you. And the only thing I can maybe get through Wi-Fi was like WhatsApp messages or whatever.
Can you remember one of those things that came out of that session without Wi-Fi?
Yeah, so like I've got...
this is exciting.
I've got this thing which I wrote. I don't know if it was that trip.
We're not sponsored by Apple right now. Like the old orange device.
So I wrote this thing which is called Jack Henderson's Perfect Life. And I was like, what? You know, we always talk about like what it looks like when you make it, but very few people actually define it. So I was like, I went through what makes me happy. So like, what are the things in my life that make me happy? Like personal improvement, consistent growth, facilitating and providing incredible experiences for myself and the people I love, helping others grow and achieve their goals. And I love business, real estate, motorsports, running and fitness, etc. And then I was like, okay, well, they're the things that I love, which generally then need to tie into what it looks like when I've made it.
Yeah.
And again, I wouldn't have time to do this if I was sitting in the office, but because I'm on a plane, and then I was like, well, what does it look like when I've actually made it? And then I just went through this massive list of 20 different things, and then what is my plan to make it? So like that sort of stuff comes up, or just random business ideas. Because that flight I was on the way back from a mastermind with Alex Hormozy.
Yeah.
So you're on the plane, you're thinking about what you've just learned, and then going, oh fuck, that's how I can implement that. Oh, that's what I can do there. That's what I can do there. Versus, you know,
that's literally a perfect little segue. Is that obviously traveling like. When I sold my schoolies company, it was like...
I found that so funny when you told me that on that call we did. I was like, no way.
Yeah. I'm still going to this day. I can't wait to actually have my business co-founder on the potty. But there was no communities. There was nowhere to kind of celebrate success. And I had to jump on a plane and do the kind of Hormozy thing. Like there's Taki Moore or Mastermind Talks and baby bath water and all these sort of things. And to not have Wi-Fi coming back is literally the perfect thing, because you're going into America and there's lots of negative stuff about America, but God, it's a great place to celebrate.
They think so big, right? They think so big in your mind. So that space, we've heard many times with many guests and many people that talk about when they fly, that's the best place for ideas.
Yeah, Christina Carlson, right? Yeah.
I think because the pressure, the air pressure is different.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Signed IP by Steve Hurrier from the Flights Club.
Air pressure, because the air pressure is different. They say that when you eat food on board at altitude, it tastes different. So if you drink or eat the same food,
I know you definitely get pissed a lot quicker when you're up there.
They design it to be different. So sometimes the food is designed for flying, not for on the ground.
Right.
Because the taste buds are actually different. So, and they also say you shouldn't drink because you get more pissed. But no.
Pitched is good.
Just see how many people are booking business class tomorrow. Right, I need that business idea.
Right,
Steve Hewitt told me about the pressure. That's great.
Footy on that. I think if I did a LinkedIn poll later, and I think I will, asked about that. More ideas come from flying than anywhere else. I think,
agree.
and I think the second one is when you're in the shower.
Shower. What's the third one?
Third one is
out in nature.
Maybe, yeah.
Right.
Just you have to have time alone.
Shower, you're only in there generally like 10, 15 minutes max, period, right? That's the difference. Where on a plane, you're there for like hours and hours and hours. So like
go deep.
The looping of the thought is different. You know, you think for a little bit and then it'll go away, and then all of a sudden, oh fuck, I didn't think of that. Whereas you jump in the shower, jump out.
No time. Yeah.
You know, partners on you.
And what are the destinations on the ground that you want to get to?
As in like metaphorically, or like actually what I want to go.
Where you want to go?
Let's do with actuals.
Top three.
I'm excited for the Maldives. That's going to be good at the end of the year. I want to go to what's it called? Ritz-Carlton have a new safari that they've opened in like
Yeah.
It's like in
We
Africa.
actually chartered the Ritz-Carlton super yacht last year out of Lisbon. So
Amazing. I've seen that. It looks off its head.
yeah, it's
that
off the
could be
head.
the next one as well.
Good.
Yeah.
I thought that you can't book that with points, though, can you?
Not with points, but we can get you to where the ship takes off on points.
And then you just got to pay for the
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ritz-Carlton gone into the safari game.
Yeah, it's in. Where do they do the Great Migration?
Serengeti,
It's something like
Tanzania.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I looked the other night, and you can book that for 300,000 a night with points, and it's like the same thing. It's like a crazy expensive hotel,
Yeah.
per night if you pay with money. So I want to go there. Maybe not next year, the year after, because you have to go in like mid-year to get the thing.
Yeah.
Next year we're going to Europe. Where else do I want to go?
Antarctica, Arctic.
I'm not
Any
really
sort of
interested in
stuff.
that. I mean, I would do it for sure to be
Yeah.
experienced, but I'm
Tick
not
off.
super excited about it.
And what does your community look like? There's travel, because obviously you are this brand, this awareness piece of travel, and it's aspirational. Where's the journey and destination of all the people you're helping and supporting and unlocking wealth? Would you say you're growing a community as well?
Yeah,
Naturally?
I mean, indirectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, people seem to like what I say, and lots of people don't like what I say either.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
there's
you gotta
probably an even amount out there. Yeah, but it's wild how many people recognize me in public now, out of control. Everywhere I go, oh, I love your stuff, photos, and
So what's the
which is
dream
cool.
so Australia right now, that's where you're crushing it, and that's the trajectory. Like, for the people that are out there that are like questioning how property, this, that, like, what's kind of the message to them?
Well, I spoke at South by Southwest this morning on this exact thing.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, it was all around like bold ideas for the housing affordability crisis. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, amazing, another fucking one of these things. I think people need to. My perception is people need to just accept what is, because like denying what is and hating the game is not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
Housing is as much as it costs, and if you want it to be cheaper, then you generally need to move out of your major cities. So what I spoke about this morning at South by Southwest was Sydney is not going to get more affordable, even if they bring more supply to market. Because if they bring more supply to market, what people don't understand is a lot of the time, if you look around at apartments here or in Melbourne or in Brisbane or wherever it is, you can actually buy them now cheaper than what it will cost you to replace them. If you started that building from scratch today, bought the land and built them, it would cost you more than you're actually buying the apartment for. So when they bring more supply to market in all of these places, it's not going to be cheaper than the current supply that is here now. It's going to be more expensive because, it costs probably 15-ish thousand a square metre to build an apartment now, a basic apartment. So property prices are not going to get cheaper dramatically. They might fluctuate with market conditions. So unless you earn a dramatically high income or ever increasing income, then you need to accept that you need to start spreading geographically. Like the difference between being here and being an hour up the freeway in the Central Coast for the same lifestyle is millions of dollars. You can live by the water on the Central Coast for less than $1 million, 800 grand, 750 grand for a house on a good block of land.
And work from anywhere, right? So,
or even if you had to come back to the city, it takes more than I lived in Wilberforce when I grew up, which is about 70 k's northwest of the city. If I left Wilberforce at 5:30 in the morning, or I left Central Coast at 5:30 in the morning, it would take me longer to get to the city from Wilberforce than it would from the Central Coast.
Yeah, well,
and it would cost me more because I've got tolls on the M7, the M2, the Harbour Tunnel, and the Central Coast. You don't even need to use a tunnel. You can go on the Pacific Highway and then come onto the M2. So people need to understand that affordability is going to, if that's what you're chasing, is going to happen through geographical spread, which happens in any major city around the world, right? It's not like people are upset that Hong Kong or Tokyo or London or New York, for example, Manhattan, is expensive. It's just known that it's expensive because they're more developed nations. And what happens when people can't afford it is they start to move out and use this huge country we have of Australia, right? Where we use like this little slither across the east coast of it. So I mean that's the only solution. Nothing else will solve it because of how much things cost to build, how much things cost to develop.
I love how you unpack things, and I think that's what resonates to people out there, is that it's literally going through the facts of like, this is
very
what it is.
Rational, very logical, and no point just crying over spilt milk. That's the same idea, because the change has happened. What are you going to do about it today?
Yeah, like people are upset that they can't buy a house in the same suburb that maybe their parents or their grandparents did when our population is potentially triple what it was when your grandparents bought their first house. Like, and we're such a densely populated country. You know, like I don't know the exact statistics, but I'm pretty sure it's like 60% of the Australian population live in like 3 cities. You know, so it's like the population is so dense in these areas. Of course, it's not rational for you to think that you can buy a house where your parent or grandparents could. Like Bondi back then is not Bondi now, or any good suburb.
If you like when you go traveling, and obviously you're in this space of property and assets, etc. What are some good examples overseas that you're like, oh man, they've got it sorted? What if we brought that back home? Like, if there was any magic wand of like, okay, that, or actually Australia, we've
it's a
got
good question. There's not one place that I've ever travelled and thought I could be here and this is better than home. None.
Yeah.
Not the south of France, not Dubai, not the US, like not Necker Island with Branson. Like none of those places are anywhere. I mean, they're cool for a period of time, but like the day-to-day way of life in comparison to the life that I live in Sydney, I would never change.
Yeah, I agree. Sydney's probably the best.
Year round too, right? A lot of these places are good for a period of time during the year, and then nothing happens. Like Sydney is incredible. Winter, summer,
happy days.
Yeah. So, what I like how they do certain things. So I love the south of France, how they dine, and how like I love the water. So anytime I can be on the harbour or on the river, like I'm always on the water. I love how you can be on the harbour, or they don't call it a harbour over there, they call it the Med, and pull up to a restaurant and jump off your boat in Birkenstocks and a shirt like this and eat at one of the best restaurants in the world. You know, that's what I love about from a lifestyle point of view.
But you can travel there, right? You can go and
that's
have
right.
that and savour it and then come back and go, I've got my other 300 plus days at home. Or
exactly.
You've probably got much less than that.
But there's nowhere, like none of these major cities around the world are cheap, you know, and they're not getting any cheaper. Populations are only growing, like,
nothing ever gets cheaper.
Nothing.
I'm interested in when you travel, is there any routines or rituals or hacks that Jack Henderson has worked out?
He doesn't drink upstairs, so that's why.
I actually don't even drink that much on my way. I will go out and like have a belter, and then I won't drink for like maybe 3-4 days, and then I'll have another belter, as opposed to like consistent drinking every day. And so when I land somewhere, the first thing I try and do is align my sleep schedule. So like, you know, if I land at nighttime, for example, even if I've slept on the plane, I still go to bed, and then I'll still wake up first thing in the morning and train and try and get the sun. And try and get the sunrise and things like that. So when we landed this time, I think we flew into the Netherlands and into what's the place? Amsterdam. Yeah, we've never been there before. That was okay, but we landed like at maybe 8:30 p.m. Had dinner, went to sleep that night, had a shit sleep, but then straight away in the morning got up and made sure you get the sunrise to get your circadian rhythm in check. Because that, like, you waste days with that shit, right? Like, you jet lag, you don't have a good sleep, you feel shit during the day because of energy.
You're tired,
and we generally don't. Like, every time we go somewhere, we'll stay there for a few days before then ripping into the partying and all the rest of it.
Yeah. What's a place that was unexpected for you that you're like, oh wow, I didn't expect that much out of that place?
I thought Monaco would be way better than what it was.
Yeah.
Super underwhelming.
Yeah.
But now I understand Monaco is just a place where people have a residence and don't live there for tax reasons. Yeah. So that makes sense now. I'm like, I thought Monaco was this, you know, you see all the photos of when the Grand Prix on and stuff. Like, the reality is it's just a big concrete bloody city like this with apartment buildings everywhere.
In boats. Massive boats out in the harbour.
Yeah, but they're not even, like, the way that it's set up is not even nice in comparison to like a few places down like Antibes, the marina there, or, you know, other parts of the world. So that was underwhelming. Where else? Places like the Amalfi Coast is like pretty incredible, but I personally don't think that the Italian food there is any different from the Italian food in Australia. That was someone was like, oh, you wait till you taste the Italian food there. It's out of control.
We're pretty spoiled, aren't we?
I'm like, you know, hyped up to have a pizza and a pasta, and then I have it and I'm like, oh, this tastes no different to a good Italian restaurant in Sydney.
Well, I think the price is out of control over there.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially with the bloody currency conversion, right? Like, it's double. Everything's double.
Sometimes the price is a proxy for what you expect to taste like and feel like.
And often another thing as well is there is a limit to what I personally think you should spend on a hotel before diminishing returns like drop.
What is that?
I think like in Europe it's a few thousand a night, but we
Yeah.
stayed at the joint in Positano called. It's that really famous red hotel. It's on the list of the best hotels in the
Oh,
world.
and it's got you got the bottom. There's 2 levels. You got
And
the restaurant down the bottom.
Yeah, it's a super famous hotel. It's red. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it cost me $40,000 to stay there for 4 nights for $10,000 a night. And I was like, this place is going to be sick.
Yeah.
And it was not.
Was not sick.
No. In comparison to the joint, we stayed at wherever it was prior to that for $1,500 a night. So like, there's a limit. And then same in Paris. Like the Paris hotels, you might spend between $1,000 and $3,000 a night. And then you've got those ones that are on all the Instagram stories, which are like $8,000 and $10,000 a night. Same experience there. It's no different.
What's the still the pain points and challenges that you have with travel that if you could just magically...
The time difference back to Australia stresses me out. Yeah. Because business doesn't stop, right?
No.
So like, we're in a super growth phase in our business. I'm finger on the pulse with everything that happens inside of the business on the day to day. And even though the business doesn't need me and require me back in Australia, I still feel like I wake up in the morning and I've just got like 10,000 WhatsApp notifications and emails and messages from my EA like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Where when you wake up at the same time with everyone, you don't have all of that backlog of stuff because everyone... Generally, I'm awake before anyone in Australia anyway.
So it's always business class pretty much, right? So because you've got this 24-hour clock. And
it's worse when you're overseas because like the good thing is when everyone in Australia goes to sleep, that's when you can sort of relax. Where in Australia, you have the mornings to relax and then you get into the day. Yeah. Whereas in Europe or even America, you wake up and like...
And your team's all on the ground here? You don't...
In Australia, yeah.
It's a tough thing to do. Like when I did my cruise to Japan, it was awesome. It was only 1 hour time difference.
Yeah.
So
Bali's the same. That's what I like about Bali. It's a couple of hours. Like same. I'm pretty sure Bali's the same as Perth, isn't it? Like 2 hours.
2 or 3. It depends on daylight saving.
So that's good. New Zealand, I like that as well because you're not too far behind.
Well, you're actually ahead of time.
Ahead. That's right. You wake up and no one else is in Australia. So that's the big thing with travel. It's just like.
Yeah.
If there was a way to have the same time zone everywhere, it'd be so much better.
Elon's trying to it's not the time zone, but it's the distance to travel. Like that's the dream. It's still 24 hours to really get to Europe, right? So
that's one of them. Will be another pain point.
Another pain point. When I travel, I don't like to move a lot. So my partner Emma wants to bloody see every bloody corner of every city, right? Like in terms of we'll stay here for 2 nights, we'll stay here for 3 nights, we'll stay here for 4 nights. So you like constantly moving, or I would just rather, go like we did a boat in Europe this year for the first time, and you're on there for 7 nights. So we have 10 of us. We had a super yacht for a week, and that was incredible because we got on there. The guys unpacked all of our clothes for us, and we did like you're still doing shit during the day.
Was that your first cruise too?
Wasn't a cruise, it was a super yacht.
Well, super yacht, yeah.
The first one, we'd done heaps of them in Sydney Harbour and shit like that, but first time I'd been on there for a week, and it was,
Steve's a big crew, like to be able to unpack once and rock up to new
that's actually the cool idea. To cruising sort of right up the alleyway because it's just one hotel or one room, but you go to different cities, different countries along the way. So it actually ticks both boxes.
I think I might try that Ritz-Carlton cruise. Yeah. There's another one, Four Seasons, I think, as well. I've got one.
Coming. Not yet built, but
the new one, it's the yacht. It's looking absolutely...
It looks cool.
Orient Express are now getting off trains and into... yachts are just the big thing, right? These ones that 200 people, scenic, do a great job down in Antarctica. It's just...
Quark, Seabourn.
We're big cruises.
There's heaps of all the ones that you'll love.
Yeah, and they're like luxe. I've only ever been on one cruise. It was a P&O. We had an internal room with no windows, and I was like, "Fuck, I'll never do that again."
I think that's basically Jetstar.
Yeah,
and there's all the way up to the.
Where do you stay out at? Do you stay at Longitude?
We did when we went there. Yeah, that was the same. Like that. It cost $20,000 or $21,000 or something for 2 nights, and it was cool.
Yeah,
but I would like the difference between the normal room there, which I think is $4,000 a night, and that room. The experience was exactly the same.
Why did you pick Ayers Rock to pop the question? That was pretty magical, pretty special on the old Insta.
It's a good question. I was going to do it at the Maldives, and is that how you say it? Maldives? Anyway, I was going to do it there, but she would have expected that. She knew it was coming. Yes. I think she didn't know when it was going to come, but I think she could sort of sense that.
It's good to be unexpected.
So she had zero idea. Like I picked the ring up from here, Tiffany's, on the Friday. Yeah. She was out at dinner with her friends, picked it up, went home, left it in the back of the car, and then in the morning I went and got the ring, put it in my carry-on bag, and I had this plan. I was like, we're going to go do a sunset dinner. I'll beautiful sunset, do the proposal next to the rock. And then I went and got dressed and I put the ring in my pocket in the box, and you could like clearly see I had something in my pocket. And I was like, fuck, what am I going to do now? So like I walked outside, I had my hands in my pocket on the balcony, and I was like, oh. And then like I jumped down to look at something on the sand. And then I turned around and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm just gonna have to do it now. So it wasn't planned to do where I did it was not where I was meant to do it, but it turned out really, really good. We had friends there who captured it. She had no idea. So
You had a ripping weather too, right?
it was, yeah, but I'm glad I didn't do the sunset thing because it pissed down rain and thundered that same night. So I'm like,
someone had your back. Whatever.
Literally.
Yeah,
so it was like, I think it rains 4 times a year or something they said in Uluru. So for it to rain when we were there is like super unique.
Yeah, well, that you can remember that.
It was good.
So do you obviously use all the Amex perks that you have in regards to the All Accor Explorer membership?
No.
No,
I would.
The way he's looking, he doesn't know
I'm
what
not good.
talking about.
We need to unlock
I'm
some
not good
stuff.
at that.
We have to thank them because they powered this podcast, right? So
what hotels are core?
Sofitel.
Oh yeah, well, I
Mandarin.
parked at the Sofitel today when I spoke at South by. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Raffles,
Orient
Hyde.
Express. Yeah, get on a train if you haven't done a train yet. I did the Garn. I didn't
Mondrian.
think I would enjoy it.
Oh, the Mondrian is.
Mondrian, yeah.
I want to stay at the Mondrian in the
Gold
Gold
Coast.
Coast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
How do we do that?
Brand new.
2 free nights.
Yeah, we'll sort
We've
it
just
out.
given it to you.
The penthouse.
No, maybe not the penthouse.
Core-
One of the rooms.
Yeah.
You have to negotiate at the front desk.
Yeah,
about that.
I'll do the front desk. We're actually going to get the penthouse for our Queensland Christmas party.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
incredible, that hotel. The fit out looks unbelievable.
Great location too.
Unreal.
So every guest that comes on the potty, we so instant gold status, 2 free nights, 30%. So great. We're doing dinner tonight.
Oh, yeah,
You
but
can't
I
make
was
it.
meant to
make
come
it.
to dinner. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'll tell you why I'm not coming to dinner. I'm training very hard at the moment for an event, and I'm super tired. Like I run a lot, so
Yeah.
I'm super tired. And every morning I get up, I do my run. I'm like, fuck, I need to go to bed tonight at like 7. Then I looked tonight, I was like, fuck, I got
Something
dinner.
wrong.
I got to tell Steve. Like,
Yeah.
Because it's like, we spoke earlier about health and things like that, and like there are so many things you can do as a business owner. There's always a dinner I can go to. There's always an event I can go to. Last night it was an EO event. Tonight it's dinner with you. Tomorrow night it's something else. Like, and it completely wrecks. I wake up early, like 4 or 5. My alarm goes off and I'm out of bed.
Yep.
And you start doing those things consistently.
Builds up.
Everything. Oh yeah, that's like you feel cooked by the end of the week.
Yeah.
So
What is your health hacks? Because we don't really double click on. We should more. Is that someone like you that's always going, right? It's like
my big thing is to catch me. It's breakfast and lunch.
Yeah.
I'll do breakfast and lunch with anyone.
dinners are just the pushing the boat out.
Yeah, only at Christmas time when I'm not training as hard. But like if I'm training for a big running event, like it's a 240k run I got coming up in a few weeks. So,
What? 240.
yeah, that's just the warm up. I did a 205 mile at the start of the year and I got a 300 mile in March.
Right.
I think I messaged you about getting flights to the US the other day for that.
Oh,
Yeah, 3. We need.
cool. We'll get you there.
I messaged you. You said go into the link and do it, which I haven't done yet. But so like I'm training. I'm doing 140 to 200 k's a week running, which is like 2 or 3 hours a day. So I got to get up early. I got to run before I go to the office. And if you go to bed at 9 or 10,
Oh yeah.
and you've eaten late, I don't drink, but like you don't sleep as well.
Yeah.
And you
I see you got the good old whip. We've
got the
whips.
whoop.
Yeah.
Not the new one, but the basic one.
You're gonna join St. Haven when it opens up here.
Yeah, I try to join the new stadium, and the one at Sydney Football Stadium. Have you seen the health
No.
club
I
there?
don't know.
It's
No.
really cool. It's
And
really cool.
there's also one at North Sydney as well, Victoria Cross.
Is there?
There's a big, massive one. There's heaps of wellness clubs.
Recovery's everything.
When is St. Haven opening?
I think it's within 12. I just joined the one in Melbourne. It's just
How is that?
one-stop shop. When you're
Is it
back
good?
in-
Is it?
Oh,
He goes every day.
it's co-working, great restaurant.
Are you down there next week?
Yeah.
I fly into
Oh
Melbourne.
no, Fiji.
Oh, right.
Come to Fiji. It's
Thursday,
a bit of recovery
Friday.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff's incredible, right? It's
Yeah. What's running for you? So like that's a journey, right? Like you must just is that a different Jack Henderson to, or is it always business?
yeah. I mean, it's just
Like we're not.
there's a few things actually with running. The cool thing is when you do those events is you go to places that you never would have been to before. So at the start of the year, I'm in like the southern part of Western Australia. Never would have gone there, but because of the run, like the 200-mile run was there, so you explore different places. I've been to Tasmania. Like I did the run down there called the Nut, which is some random place that I went to. So you get to see different parts of the world. I'm going to Arizona, which is where the 300-mile run is next March, I think it is. So it's the travel component is really cool because you get to see parts of the world that you wouldn't have seen before. Like you're not booking a trip to go to any of these places outside of going there for the event. And then the other thing is the mental challenge. Like when you're running for 72 hours straight, it's a
what
long
do you
thing.
think about when you're running? It's just very
What
slow,
don't I think about? There's a lot of shit.
right? Because this takes time. How long is a 200-mile
200
run?
mile took me 72 hours on the nose. It was 3 days.
Yeah, so 72 hours.
Yeah, wow.
What are you thinking about?
There's not a lot you don't think about, that's for sure.
Have you done a 29029 event yet?
No, what is that?
With Jesse Itzner? And
I love Jesse Itzler. But
yeah.
what is the 2902?
So 29029 is the height of Everest.
Right.
And what Jesse was like, you know what, let's, again, I just love this notion of the destination. So event like space community, right? Total eclipses. We used to run trips for Virgin Galactic. You got to keep them excited on planet Earth. Otherwise you can get a refund from Richard. So it all revolved around total eclipses. So we had one woman that for 16 years, she'd been, and she's in her 70s now, that was kind of like your running story. It's like, I've been to Uzbekistan because that's where the eclipse was one year, and then I went to Antarctica. I didn't think I'd go to these, but there's an event that happens, and that's how I plan my travel.
Eclipse, you mean like with the moon, yeah? Yeah.
Totally. Next year it's Greenland, the following one's Egypt, and then it's back in Australia actually going through Ayers Rock in 29. So you literally have this calendar. But I get to Jesse's event, so he's like, let's do something crazy, a challenge like you've seen what he's done. Let's do 16 laps of a mountain.
Oh, I've seen that.
Which is the height of Everest. Yeah. So we're talking, I'm like, come on, bring it down to Australia because we've got...
There is one here called King of the Hill. They
Yeah.
do the same thing. It's down in Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So,
But I have seen that. That's really cool.
but he's just crushed it, like 16 mountains now or something, and 150 people turning up, paying 10 grand, great business people. So it kind of comes back to that always business class, like up in the air, on the ground. So we're just like so grateful for what you're doing for Australians, mate.
Thank you.
And being such a loyal member of Flights Club. And
I'll be
Steve.
here. I'll be here long term. You don't have to worry about me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a wrap. Here we are. Done.
That was good.
Thank you.
Good stuff,
mate.
gents.
Awesome.
No worries.